Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday morning, guys. So I'm responding to two emails. I'm responding to a good sis who wanted me to give some advice, in my opinion, on why. Okay, so she's dealing with and if you guys would like to chime in and help her, please do so in the comment section. But she's dealing with a narcissist, and she's trying to understand, why is her mind on overload? She feels like her mind is about to, quote unquote, explode. She just doesn't understand why do your spirit feel so shifty, all over the place, confused, etc. So I'm going to speak on that and help her to try to understand that this is literally intentional by the narcissist. And a good brother wanted me to speak on, okay, so obviously he heard a recording of mine at some point in me saying that cheating is not a mistake. He feels the opposite. I respect your opinion, brother. Like, seriously, again, when I speak, I'm just telling you my opinion. Nothing's factual. So I'll speak on that, and also why me personally, do not believe in second chances when it comes to cheating. He feels like everybody's human. We all make quote unquote mistakes, and we're going to have to agree to disagree on that, but I'll speak on that. Okay, so let's start really quickly for my good sis who's dealing with this narcissist. Sis, it's literally a game, an intentional game for the narcissist. They play with your mind so bad through manipulation tactics that you do question yourself. So they will intentionally create a scenario to screw with your mind. They're doing this intentionally. And so when you call them on it, they're going to flip it on you. They're going to say something to the effect of, why are you so sensitive? Why do you take things so? I didn't mean it that way. You just took it that way. So it literally is a strategic game that they play to manipulate your mind. And what happens is, when they do that so frequently, you will start to question, is it me? Am I crazy? Maybe I am the problem. Mind you, they're doing it intentionally to screw with your mind. Okay, so ultimately, the narcissist wants to break you down so bad, right? This is why when people deal with narcissists, they tend to have very, very low confidence and self-esteem, because over time, the narcissists literally chip at your confidence and your self-esteem to the point where you would even second guess yourself. Do you know there are people that have left the narcissist long ago and still question certain things about themselves, depending on how long that narcissist had access to them, especially if they had parents or the narcissist had access to them as children? They still question themselves because they literally break you down so bad that you even question your own worth, and it's intentional. They have to be in control of you, and in order for somebody to control you, they have to break you down where you don't even know who you are. Okay. Also, another thing that can really mess your mind up is when they start to turn people against you. And the hurtful side of that is that the people don't even know that they're being used. So then the people will start to believe the things that the narcissists say about you. Whatever, because they're going to, remember, they have to come up with a smear campaign. They have to make it look like you're crazy, or that you're the problem, and that everyone knows you're the problem. So they come up with these smear campaigns, and then they start confusion and lies with the other individuals. Okay. So then when you don't feed into that, which most people will when they're in the thick of that thing, right? Because you're going to want to defend yourself. Who wouldn't want to defend their own? But you'll learn that that doesn't work. In fact, that makes things even worse. Okay. So once the individuals start side-eyeing you, and now you're trying to clear up your name, whatever the narcissist said about you, the people are still looking at you side-eye. No matter how much you try to prove your point, they're still looking at you side-eye. Because remember, the narcissist has not only told them something about you one time, they have literally targeted these people and poured these lies into the individual's head. So the individual, they don't even know that they're being used. And so now, not only is the narcissist rejecting you, the people are somewhat rejecting you. And so you start to feel all alone. You feel like no one has your back. And then you start to see the people, you're looking at them side-eye, but the truth of the matter is they're innocent. They really don't know. These people are demonic. So the best tactic, which is very, very hard for individuals to do, and that is to not respond. First of all, if you can, but I know it's a process, of course, the ultimate goal is to leave and never look back. Never look back. Cut off all access, including innocent flying monkeys. Anything that keeps you guys in some kind of tie together. This is why my heart goes out to people who have children with narcissists, because it, like, you're still tied. Like, it's a lifetime of them even using the children to create scenarios and drama, right? But again, ask God for wisdom and discernment and direction and protection. He'll show you a strategic way how to handle this thing when it comes down to when you have to deal with them when you have children. Okay, so at some point, God is going to get very firm with you. Because with a narcissist, you can't fight them flesh and flesh. This is a demonic spirit. You're going to lose. This is why the one who is being abused by the narcissist is walking around like yourself, energy depleted, mind all over the place, spirit is in all kind of chaos and confusion. Do you think the narcissist spirit feels that way? No. They're getting a high. Every time you crash out, they get a high. That's how they survive off of drama, off of hurting and torturing you. So hey, they're walking around all filled in full of joy and this, that, and the third, because they thrive. You're feeding them. You have to starve a narcissist. The key is to starve them and don't feed them. So every time you react, every time you respond, every time you crash out, you're feeding them. And it's easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done. But at some point, God's going to get very, very firm with you. Because he knows that you can't do this on your own. He knows you can't walk away. This person you're tied. It's like spider webs. This is why if you ever try to leave, you go back. Let it be when they love bomb you, send a flying monkey to you, whatever. At some point, you leave, you go back. You leave, you go back. You leave, you believe they can change. Especially if you're an empath, you believe you can fix them. This is all when you're ignorant to the narcissist tactics. Because once you're on game and you know what it is, child, the chosen one / empath literally will destroy a narcissist. Let me take that back. A healed empath. A heal empath. So God will start to get firm with you. He will start to make a way of escape. The key is your obedience. Child, I need some gas. Do better, Kizzy. He will make a way for your escape. But here's the thing. It's going to be one of the most difficult decisions of your life. Here's why. It's many reasons why, but I'll give you a few. is going to require you to leave a situation at your most broken and vulnerable time. When you're broken, it's hard to leave a person. See, it's very easy to leave a person when you're whole, like which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes to my good brother. It's very, very easy to leave a person, even if you love them. It's very easy to leave a person. Well, I won't say it's easy, if you will, but you get my point here. To walk away from a person who wronged you. But in contrast, when you're dealing with low self-esteem, confidence issues, which was created more than likely through the narcissist at some point, it's very hard to walk away. They get in your mind. You will really start to believe everything they said. Well, nobody else will want you, and you're just stuck here. You got 35 kids, whatever they say to you, whatever they say. Like and the thing about them, they're so sneaky. They say little subtle things. They say subtle things to get in your mind. They will literally build you up one day and have you on a pedestal just to intentionally snatch that rug from under you the next day. So you're doing something, and you're doing it from your heart, right? You're the sweet empath, the sweet chosen one, right? You're the loving and the giving and all this stuff. So you're doing this thing, first of all, because you just love to do it. We just love to serve. We just love seeing other people happy. So that's that. But also, you may or may not realize it, you're also doing it for the narcissist's approval. They set you up for the approval trap. And so you can have a whole day where you're doing everything, and you're feeling really good about it. Like, oh, I'm going to finally make this demon happy. Maybe something I can do they're going to like. You're all happy about it, and then they're going to give you like a little bit of like smile, and you know that they have like that real nasty smirk. It's almost like a smirk. I feel like narcissists it's a demonic look, and it's a demonic smirk. I don't think the average person can kind of see it, because these can even be attractive people, but it's a demonic smirk that they have, and it's all in their eyes too. But and that next day they're going to flip. Let me give an example of how that can look. Let's say you decided to cook dinner one day, like their favorite meal. You're all happy about it, right? And that day they're going to give you a little something. Like they're not going to like build you up too much, right? They can't do that, right? So they might give you a little smile, or they might say something like, oh, well, this tastes good. Like they'll do something to really make you feel like what you did for them like was very well received, which it wasn't. It is literally intentional, because they know tomorrow they're going to snatch that rug under you. Okay, so you're feeling all high all day, like, oh, I did something great. Oh, finally they're going to like me. Not. Okay, just for the next day to come, and they create some kind of scenario, some kind of drama that has nothing to do with the dinner the night before, but just something. They always create something. And so now when you go to defend yourself, or now there's a disagreement about it, you may say something like, why, I'm confused. Like, you were just fine yesterday when I cooked you dinner. They'll say something like, I didn't ask you to do that. In fact, that's not even my favorite meal. You did that because you want to. The rice was really undercooked. Honey, that rice could have been off the chain. They ain't gonna tell you that, right? So here you are, finally thinking like, oh, I did something great. They're gonna like me, and I'm finally getting them to like really accept me, and this, that, and the third. And just the next day for that rug to be snatched, honey, your rice was hard. And now your little feelings are so hurt because you really had believed that you were. These people are sick. They will never, ever, ever appreciate you, no matter how much you do. You guys, I'm sure many of you guys can vouch that you've been very, very good at some point to the narcissist, and they never, ever, ever appreciated you. In fact, the more you love on them, the more they hurt you, the more they're intentionally hurting you. So the more you love, the more they hate you. You're loving on them, they're hating you. You're loving on them, they're hating on you. You're loving on them, they're plotting on you. And each time, honey, your heart is taking a hit each time. But honey, God is going to come one day and he's going to make it so clear to you, so clear and so firm that you have no choice. Because he's going to let you know, I'm about to pull you away and you're never going back. But you're going to have to follow my instructions. And again, this is the part that's going to break you, because you're going to have to pull out a situation where you're not even strong enough to do so. So you think this is more about following God's conviction to the next step. Not trying to see the whole picture. Like, well, if I leave, I don't even have a house to go to. If I leave, well, I don't have anybody to help me. Everybody's turning against me. This is about taking the next step out on faith, not seeing the whole picture. Okay? It's going to also be difficult is because, again, like I said, he's going to have you cut off attachments, even flying monkeys. And some of these flying monkeys you're going to be very fond of. And they're innocent. And you may really like these people. This can look like some of the narcissist's own family members. Maybe you're cool with their mom. Like maybe you've always loved their mom. But the narcissist is going to, if you leave, he's going to constantly use his mom as a flying monkey. The mom's going to be calling you. Because once you finally walk away, now what they're going to do is, now versus them sitting there telling everybody you're such this horrible person and having everybody turn against you, now once you leave and never look back, they're now going to be telling everybody that you discarded them, you abandoned them, you're such a bad person, and they were always innocent, and this, that, and the third. And then the people now are feeling sorry for the narcissist, because it's almost like, well, why would you just not, I don't understand, why would you leave them? Honey, these flying monkeys have no clue about the torture that the narcissist put you through. And don't even waste your time trying to explain it, because how can they understand a torture that they never experienced? But guess what? At some point they will, because the narcissist got to now find another supply. So once you're gone and you break away from that thing, of course they're going to always still try to come back through flying monkeys and all that nonsense, right? At some point they're going to have to attach themselves to a new supply, a new person with a good, great heart, etc., etc. They literally target empath. They target good-hearted people. They target them. A narcissist will never target out another narcissist. That doesn't even make no sense. No, they can't break another narcissist. They know they can break great heart people, unhealed great heart people. So follow God's direction. First and foremost, ask God, right? Many people may not be to this point yet because you're still in the thick of that thing, but ask God. Ask God to step in and to help you leave this situation. Again, just transparent moment here. When we be asking God for things, we just assume we ask and boom, God gives it to us easily tomorrow. No, your life will be turned upside down. Your life will be turned upside down. Your life will be turned upside down. But that has to happen. He's trying to save you. Your only job is to follow his directions. Examples of that can look like move out of that house. That house was full up with demonic spirits and all kind of child. Why you think every time you come home your house feels heavy? When you're around a narcissist, honey, no matter where you are, the room is heavy. It's heavy in the spiritual realm. You can feel it. Okay? He may say, leave that house. I don't care how much money you got invested. I'll give you back that 50 times more. I don't care if you can see it now. Just leave and trust me. He may say, cut off this person, which typically is going to be a flying monkey or a narcissist, somebody that narcissists use as leverage against you. And this may be somebody who you love with all your heart, including their children. He may tell you to, there's a ton of things he can tell you. Everybody's direction is going to be different, right? He may say relocate. Everybody's direction will be different, but you're going to have to obey, and it's going to literally break your heart. But when you come out on the other side of this thing, you will discover a peace that you've never even knew existed. Now, there is nothing that the narcissist can say or do to you that will disturb your peace. Because now you know for a fact, and this is after your healing process, you have to go through, even when God pulls you from it, you have to go through a healing process. You have to go through a healing season, because remember, they broke you so bad that God has to build you back up, etc., etc. So yeah, that's it. Once you're healed, honey, so that's how you defeat a narcissist. That's how you defeat a narcissist. You don't defeat a narcissist by going back and forth with them, right? You think so, but you don't know any better at the time. You defeat them through going through a healing process and never looking back. What else am I talking about today? Oh, my good brother. My good brother, I read your email, and in all honesty, listen, I'm one of the many individuals, or maybe few, I don't know, who can see things from different perspectives. Meaning, I hear you. I'm not even sitting here like side-eyeing your opinion. Honestly, I can hear it, I can understand it from your point of view, but it doesn't mean I have to agree with it, right? We're all adults, we can agree to disagree. Okay, so into so many words, you said that you feel like cheating is a mistake. I said I feel that it's not a mistake. It is literally an intentional action, and I'll explain why. And then I think the second thing you asked me was, why I don't believe in you said why don't some women believe in second chances? And I'm definitely one of those women. So let me start really quickly. Okay, first of all, cheating is not a mistake, in my opinion. Okay, there's too much intentional actions that has to go into that. Okay, for one, you had to make the phone call, you had to arrange it. Okay. Next, you had to drive wherever you was driving. The fact that you had to drive to where you was driving to, or you had that time lapse of the person driving to you. So you're telling me throughout that 20, 30 minutes, let's just say, give or take, nothing in your conscience bothered you so bad if you claim to love or care for a person throughout that duration of you driving there, or she or he driving to you. There's women and men listening. So I didn't say that for you per se, but nothing in your conscience disturbed you within that time frame. Okay. So then that tells me that you don't have a conscience. So this is going to tie in to what I'm going to say about why I don't take people back the second time. Now, I have before. I have before I knew better. But child. So I'm breaking down this process because I'm going to tie it in with how it affects the other person. Next, I want to say really quick, let me backtrack. Before I even started, I should have asked you, if you were on the receiving end, would you still feel that way? Because I find it very funny that the same people who want people to take them back after blatant disrespect of cheating would be the same people who would walk away and never look back if it happened to them. So it's easy to say what you would or would not do if you're not on the receiving end of something. Okay? And maybe you would. I don't know. Everybody's different. Okay. So not only did your big head, your big watermelon head, had to drive to this person's house, or had that lapse of time with no conscience that's convicting you, the fact that, also in addition, the fact that you did what you did, right, After the fact, when you're finished, you can come back and look me in my face. Tells me again, you have no conscience. My conscience would eat me up so bad. But think on how someone can come and look in your face, smile in your face like nothing never happened. I mean, of course, at this point, you don't know. But think back on it. Think back on when you find they came right back to you and smiled in your face like something. They have no conscience. Next, when we found out you lied in circles around this thing for a very long time. This can be if someone brought something to your attention. Like women, we're just too tapped in. We're going to feel it, right? We're going to feel it because chosen people are very spiritually sensitive. So you're going to feel anything your partner is doing. You can't like put your hands exactly on it, but you know what it is. So when we bring it to your attention, the fact that you can sit here and attempt to run laps around us with lies tells us that you are a blatant liar in general, not just from this one offense. You are a liar in general. Okay? So, among some other things. I can go on and on and on and on. I'm trying to make a point with a few points. Now let's move forward to why again, some women would not, so I'm not speaking for all women, right? Why I would not accept a person back on the second time for different reasons. One, you knew from the jump what it was. So it's not that you didn't know, right? This is a conversation that was had from the very, very, very beginning. So you can't put that on me and say, well, I didn't know because I didn't know we were exclusive and I didn't know if you would be okay with it. Child, please, right? That was a meeting of the minds from the jump. At some point, you knew what it was, okay? Next, speaking for me, Kizzy all here, there's absolutely no need. There's no need because I'm going to hold it down from every single angle possible. So you can't put it on me because that's the first thing a lot of men would do. Oh, well, I did it because this, that, and the third. Or you let yourself go. Or you were telling me no every night. Or whatever lies they, some men come up with. Oh, no, sir. Oh, you ain't gonna put it on me because your girl held it down. I'm a cook. I'm a clean. Child, you need your feet rubbed. What you need, boo? I got you. You ain't gonna put it on me, sir. Speaking of that, ladies, stop letting these men use reverse psychology on you. And now you walking around with low self-esteem thinking it's something that you did. And I'm not saying that somebody didn't maybe because, I mean, who knows, right? But what my good chosen sisters, honey, we hold it down. So you're not going to put it on us, point blank, period. So there's no need. Next, as I was stating a few minutes ago during the breakdown, the actual act, the physical act in itself is something you can't even get out of your head. I don't know why men think they're the only one who are quote unquote territorial. When it comes down to it, that's not every woman, right? I'm sure some women are not honey, listen. Listen. So you can't even shake that physical act out of your head. Especially if you guys had a very, very good sexual chemistry. Speaking in general, judgmental folks, right? Especially if you guys had a very good sexual chemistry, you're very sexually compatible. So now you got to envision that going on with somebody else. That's enough right there to get your head busted to white meat, right? Kiss it. But let's set that aside for a second. Okay. Let me backtrack for a second. So the same way that you hear men say things like, there's no way in the world I can even think about or envision another man, quote unquote, dominating my woman. What do you think we think about? What's in our head? Disney World? You think we're thinking about what I'm cooking for dinner? That's in our head too. That's in our head too. Like, you did to this chick what you did. That's in our heads too. I don't know why men keep wanting to be one-sided, that women aren't like territorial or women aren't. Child, please. So fast forward. So let's take the intentional act and sit that aside for a second. So now I'm going back to what I said. You couldn't have a conscience because nothing ate your conscience up when you were driving there or vice versa. Especially, all caps, if this is not a one-time offense. And most times it's not. They may lie and tell you it's one time. That ain't even a one-time thing, honey. That thing was going on. So the fact that you even did that more than one time tells me again that as a person, you have no conscience. As a person, because you can look me in my face and lie, even when I know the truth, tells me you have no conscience. So that's part of your character. So going forward, if I take you back, how do we skip over the fact that you have no conscience in general? So if you have no conscience, you're going to burn me again. This is why people cheat over and over. This is why I don't allow second chances. Because when they burn you one time, how many people do you know cheated one time or had an affair or whatever, and they never cheated again after that, years later? And I'm sure there's a very, very small percentage of people who have, but no. If you know I'm going to take you back, why not do it again? Because in your mind, well, if I ever get caught again, I just have to go through here in her mouth again one more time. I just have to maybe go through having to go to some kind of therapy for 3 months until she gets comfortable again. I just have to go through no sex until she can feel comfortable with me again. Like, child. So here's the thing. The change, the quote unquote, the temporary change was never even about them. They don't want to change their character. That they're only changing because of you. Temporary, meaning because you gave them an ultimatum. You're going to go to therapy or right. So they're going to shut your mouth up, attend therapy, honey. They're in therapy, honey, thinking about some porn. They're in therapy thinking about how they're going to call this chick, how they're going to switch it up where you won't find out again. And you sitting there investing all your heart and your time, honey, and they're just sitting there about, well, maybe if I can get a second phone and keep it at my homeboy house. Find somebody else to do it. I ain't got time. Find somebody else to do it. You're not going to disturb my peace, right? Women want peace. We're over here. We're drinking our water. We're doing our skincare. We're doing our arts and craft. We got choices. We want peace, period. Okay. So, again, in addition to me having to live with the physical act, you being in my presence after all this, I have to question your every move because I know that you're a liar. You've proven your character is that of a liar. That's proven. So now I have to live with a liar? You didn't just lie about this woman. You're a liar in general. So I have to live with a liar, and I have to live with somebody who has no conscience. So that means every time you leave home and you say, I'm going to, I don't know, work. I'm going to, whatever you say you're going. So, I mean, so I'm just supposed to sit home and just not think anything else. Remember, we're human. Remember, you broke the trust. So once trust has been broken, there is no peace. So why should my peace be disturbed because someone else lack of character, lack of discipline? That's unfair. Because the person who committed the act, they're not walking around all stressed out. It wasn't done to them. So you afflicted me. You get to go scot-free other than hearing my mouth maybe. And then you're going to talk crap about that. How you want peace and you disturb the peace? Make it make sense. So personally, when you have discovered peace in life in general. See, it's one thing if you've never discovered peace. Most people have never discovered peace. So then you'll be okay with that chaos. So more than likely, the woman who will accept you back will be a woman who's never discovered peace, and she definitely doesn't know her own worth, things like that. And I'm not saying that for that to be true for everybody, because I know somebody personally who was married for a very, very long time, and it took a very long time of hard work to recover from that thing. But that's rare. That's very, very rare. And this is a person who is like a solid person. But I'm speaking about people who are very low vibrational. They've never ever been introduced to peace. Their life is chaos. Then these are going to be the people that accept you back, because they're used to having their spirit disturbed. They're used to being in fight or flight. They're used to being in survivor mode. No, once somebody levels up and they know who they are and what they bring to the table, and their life doesn't mean their life is perfect, but they have discovered the foundation of peace, no one is going to allow you back into their life to disturb their peace. This is why many people, men and women, are choosing to remain single and not even get married. Like, Google it. Google, people are now deciding not to get married. It will blow your mind, the rates of women and men who are, because listen, people are now leveling up. The scales have been removed. A lot of people, there's a spiritual shift where people are coming into their higher selves, and they're not going to just allow any random person to disturb their peace, because that person refuses to grow, refuses to level up, and they're comfortable at lower frequencies. That's fine. That's everybody's choice. But don't bring that nonsense over to somebody who's put the work. So I ain't got time for it. Okay. I think that's all you. You made a comment. I've actually heard a couple of men say this. So a woman will, and let me say this really quickly too. I want to be fair. Men and women cheat. Men and women cheat. Men and women cheat. But again, I'm responding to a good brother here. But you said something that I've heard a couple of men say. This is going to be the last thing I address. So a woman will leave a man for cheating, even when there is a great chance she'll be cheated on again by the next man. And if she leaves him again, then this next man. You're right. You're absolutely, I agree with you 100% there. It's a gamble. But guess what? Life is a gamble. Life is a gamble. So I would rather take a gamble rather than gamble with my peace with you. Because see, you knew better. And so the same way I left you, I'll leave the next one. Point blank, period. I don't let people get up in my head and make me think. See, that's the way people try to keep you locked in a certain time. No, you ain't gonna do that. I left you, I'll leave him too. So you're not going to sit here and try to lock me in the cage to try to get me to stay with you, because potentially the next man can do the same thing you did. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? What if he's a leveled up, proven, traditional, high value man? What if he's a man who recognizes what he got is rare? What if he's a man who put that work in, and he know that discipline as a man, especially sexually, will allow God to trust him with even more in life? What if he's a man who been out here to know that it's very rare to find a certain type of woman, and he's not going to risk losing a certain type of woman for your average mud duck? So every man is not the same. So we're not going to sit here and try to put my brothers in one category. As a woman, I know every man is not the same. And as a man, you know that too. If you're willing to be honest and transparent, you know every man is not the same. Same way every woman is not the same. And that's the importance of leveling up. Because see, once you level up, you pull in a different kind of pool of men. I know a lot of men, and they're the same way men put women in categories like wife material, fun girl, good girl, even some, like me, I consider myself to be both. I'm the fun girl, but at the same time, I'm going to hold it down from a a standpoint where he can trust and this, that, and the third. I personally, that's just me. I feel you have to blend the two. Men can say what they want about good, quiet, innocent. You's a liar because the firecracker is the one that got your nose wide open. Stop playing. So you have to tie both in together. Period. So the same way women can be in a category, men can be in a category. Husband potential. Right? Side dude. I'm gonna delete that one right there. So we know what we're doing out here. Men can't run game on every woman, and you know that, sir. You know that. You know many women have been put on by their dads and their brothers, etc., etc. So that's my thoughts. But again, I respect your opinion, and listen, we all are human. I wouldn't call it a mistake, but I would say just take accountability, take ownership, and just it is what it is. But that's my thoughts. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy.